How do you pay taxes as a digital nomad? How does it work? Well, I'm going to talk about how I got started with this and how basically you can proceed to build a life as a digital nomad. And also, I'll talk about what I'd like to see. So, basically, the first thing I'm going to say is I'm from Canada. A lot of US citizens have to file for life because they're US citizens and basically always submit tax returns to the IRS. That was not my situation because I am from Canada and I checked out of the Canadian tax system in 2011. And basically, since then, I've been living in a couple different countries and in those tax systems. So, how do you get started as a digital nomad? How does it work with taxes and work permits and all that sort of stuff? Well, what I'm going to tell you right away is that in most countries that are popular digital nomad destinations, they don't really care. I mean, unless you're going to make some serious bank, some serious bucks, some serious cha-ching, nobody really cares if you're paying taxes in their country in a lot of cases. But you have to always watch. If you do stay more than 180 something days in a country in a year, you are likely going to be A, needing a residence permit, and B, needing to pay taxes. But if you're actually just a digital nomad traveling around the world from country to country to country, do you have to pay taxes? Do you have to pay taxes to the countries that you're staying in? Probably not. Do you have to pay taxes in your home country where you have a bank account? You probably do, because a lot of countries do not actually like it if you say, I'm not tax resident anywhere. It is theoretically possible, but it makes it very difficult because if your strongest ties are to Canada, for example, then you should file a tax return in Canada. And then if you're filing taxes in Canada and you're not spending more than 90 days at a time or 180 days in a year in other countries, then you're good. And the thing that's really good about countries like Canada and specifically the UK, which is where I was tax resident after I left Canada in 2011, I moved to England. I was actually working there physically. I registered for the tax system there, and I stayed tax resident there after I became a digital nomad and left actually my job there and working there. I wasn't there anymore, but I was working there, getting money from companies there over the internet while I was living in various different countries, in the Balkans and other places in Eastern Europe. I was able to file taxes in England, keep my bank account there open, and not have to file to Canada because I was filing taxes in England and they have a tax treaty. And so, you know, it took me a little while before I finally ended up moving my tax residence into Serbia, which is the country that I decided I wanted to stay longer in and, kind of just like make my home, where I'm tax resident now in Serbia. And so basically, the UK had like some like 11,000 pounds or something like that you could get a year tax free. And being registered in that system and having that as tax free income was really good because guess what? After the business expenses of having a computer and my trips to London to meet clients and stuff like that, I was not making more than 11,000 a year of personal income. And that was a great life in Serbia. So a lot of countries, like for example, here in Serbia, you will register for taxes and basically you will have to pay immediately a return and a certain amount a month and stuff like that. The UK didn't tax me much, actually. I got a lot of that. I pay the money that I paid in tax off my salary when I was an employee there. I got a lot of that back, and I was able to, while I was going around Europe and finding a home, keep on filing there with this very reasonable personal allowance of like 11,000 pounds, which let me sort of start my journey as a digital nomad without paying too much in taxes. And I believe, most Western countries should have a minimum threshold of personal allowance, whereas a lot of these developing economies have what could be good tax rates, but a lot of bureaucracy that you need to go through to register yourself in these places. And it's not possible to do that just for a short stay. It's like a long-term thing. If you want to become a tax resident in Serbia, you open up a sole proprietorship business entity that you pay yourself through, and then you pay a certain amount a month, and you have to go to all these different offices to get the work permit and stuff like that. But nobody really cares if you're just a digital nomad in a country on a tourist visa, if you're going to pay taxes there. That's the short answer of it. You might be technically in violation of some sort of law But if you're just working on your laptop, they're not likely to come and basically come and arrest you for working illegally in the country if you're just a person on a laptop in a cafe and all your money is coming from outside of the country. So think about that. I've seen, like in Thailand, for example, lots of people go there and work illegally teaching English, and that's where you'll get into trouble. If there's an English school that's paying you in cash and they come and find you with a classroom of students, that's where you'll get in trouble. That's where you should, judge the situation and try to do things within the boundaries of the law. But just as a digital nomad on a laptop, until you're much more further down the line, making a lot more money, I would recommend that you actually just stay in your home country with your home country bank account and just fulfill your requirements there. So that's how tax works as a digital nomad. Thanks. This is Support Adventure. We're the expat outsourcing company. If you wanted a job in the IT support industry that you were going to work while you were traveling, well, we might be a good company for you. So you can find out more info about that on our website. Again, this is not legal advice. You make your own decisions at your own risk. But often when becoming a digital nomad, the absolute last thing you're going to have to worry about is tax. Focus on having clients, focus on having money coming in, focus on having a place that you feel comfortable working, a city that you like being in, a place that you can focus, and good internet and good equipment and good contingency when that infrastructure breaks down. Thanks a lot and enjoy your adventure. Take care.